Hey guys, what's up? I just want to talk to you today about Trump winning the US presidential election. And I want to shed some light on the situation because I've seen a lot of people spread a lot of hate and a lot of fear and a lot of worry, and they're like, oh no, Trump's now been elected the president of the United States, the world's going to end. And which just isn't true. It's just fear talking. And I'm just standing there like, oh, yeah, but that's what people said about Brexit as well. Like, to me, it just seems like a bit of a broken record. Like, every time something bad seems to happen in the world, everyone's like, oh, the world's going to descend into chaos. And then the next day it's like exactly the same. So I just want to shed some light on this. And I want to give you guys a different perspective on how this could actually change you and the world as a whole. What I mean by this is, if that guy, Donald Trump, if he could become the president of the most powerful country in the world, or he's supposed to be in control of 320 million people, do you not think that he's not fit to lead 320 million people? What I'm saying is, should these people really be leading your lives? Because, I mean, do you really see these people as role models? I mean, like, if you had to choose whether you had a leader or not, would you choose to have a leader? Like, do you need a leader? Do you feel like you need a leader? Ask yourself these questions, because, I mean, personally, I don't feel like I need a leader. I feel like I lead my own life and I do things my own way, and I'm happy that way. So it's quite an interesting question, really, because we never ask ourselves, why do we have leaders? We just know that we have leaders, or we think that we have leaders. But really, that's just like an illusion, because the people who are in charge of the country, I mean, this is just my opinion more than anything, but they don't really take action as much as they say they do. They just use politics and political games and political warfare to gain their advantage. And then once they actually get to a position of power, they don't seem to do or fix all the problems that there are in the world or the country. Yeah, everyone's just so like angry and emotional about this thing, and I'm like, even in the UK, I'm just like, how can you be so angry about this guy going and getting the presidency? I mean, yeah, he's like apparently a sexist, and he's a racist, and he's a this and he's a that, but words are just words. Like, what he actually does now is gonna the next few months are decisive, basically. You know, actions speak louder than words. So I'm interested to see how that country's actually going to react to everything in the next couple of months and years. Whether he'll stay in presidency, whether there'll be any protests. I think now's the time. Like, everyone's saying Trump getting the presidency is a bad thing, but I actually think it's a good thing, because you can start to realize that we live in a mad world. Like, if that guy can get the presidency of the United States, then that's inspiring to me, because that means that anyone can do anything. Because, I mean, he's definitely not presidential material in my eyes anyway. I mean, fair play to the guy for doing it, but yeah, a lot of people are saying it's a negative, and I think it's a positive, because if it wakes people up as to how crazy things actually can be, then I'm game for it. So the only other thing I want to add in is that, you know, I mean, the sooner people realize that they don't need, you know, a leader, a president or a prime minister to lead their lives, or to supposedly lead their lives, the better. Because, you know, what do you expect from these people? You know, all I see is a bunch of people talking and saying the right things, but they're not doing the right things. So to me, that's just inefficient. There's not much point to it. It gives people the illusion that their lives are actually looked after by someone else, when in reality, you know, they're not. Some people's lives are. I think it's the richer you get, you know, the more you'll benefit from them sort of things. But the people at the bottom of the chain, like, we've been a rich and prosperous country now. UK and America have been really rich countries for a long time. Why is there still poverty? Why is there still people that are homeless, people that are hungry? You know, surely that's the first thing that you should be sorting out as a country. But instead, everyone seems to get more involved in the, oh, I'm a Labourer, or I'm a Conservative, or I'm a Democrat, or I'm a Republican. And then anyone who doesn't agree with you, you have an argument with, and anyone that does agree with you, you tend to like them. Which to me just seems a bit illogical and irrational. Like, why would we live our lives like that? Like, why, just because someone has different opinions to how the country should be run, why should we argue with them? You know, just because you believe that your life should be led one way and someone else may believe that their life should be led another way, doesn't mean you should be arguing about which way is the best way. Just let each other get on with what you're doing, and you know, you haven't got to be best friends with that person. You just, you know, be nice to them and just let them get on with their lives, and then vice versa. That's how it should work. You know, we're like one of the most, or we're supposedly the most intelligent species on the planet, yet we can't even manage to, you know, we can't even get along with someone who has a different opinion to us, which is a bit primal. It's a bit, you know, we should have evolved past that stage by now, really, but for some reason we haven't. So yeah, I'm not too sure. Maybe it's like an excuse, you know, you can always point the finger at someone, oh, the country's in a bad way, so you're the problem, or she's done this and he's done that, and yeah, but we need to take responsibility of our lives, because if we don't, then the world's going to end up in a bad way really soon, because these people who are our leaders and our prime ministers and our presidents don't seem to be doing the jobs that they need to be doing at this time in civilization, because the way things are going, you know, with water shortages and food shortages and poverty, and just look what's happening in the Middle East. We've got people, you know, migrating over here because of war, and because they haven't got money, and the weather's too hot, and just, you know, it's all starting to come together, and unless we come together, you know, there might not be a solution. So I'm just saying it how it is in my head, and yeah, I thought it'd be a good idea to share my opinion. So I hope this video helped you, and yeah, have a good day.